Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are doing a foundation review. We are reviewing the, drumroll please, the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation. Now the reason why we had to do the drum roll is because the Soft Matte Complete Concealer is something that I have used since probably the day that it came out. I used it to clean up my brows. So now we have a matching foundation, which is super cool. When I got this in the mail, I was honestly shocked. The part where you can see the foundation is definitely a lot more frosted than on the website. I'll pop up the photo right here. I thought it was gonna look like that, but either way, this is the foundation. I got it in the shade Cadiz. I think that's how you say that. Cadiz is described as medium dark skin with peach undertones. So this foundation is a 16-hour oxidation resistant foundation that helps to balance the oil on your skin. As you guys know, I do have oily skin on this part of my face. My lower portion right here is kind of dry, and then like over here is normal. I have all three skin types on me, so I have combination skin, I guess you could say. It's supposed to be transfer resistant and sweat proof, and of course we are wearing masks, so I'm very curious to see if it really is transfer proof when I put on my mask. I don't think it will, and I'm not gonna be mad at it if it doesn't, but yeah, it does claim that. It's a matte full coverage foundation. It's a liquid foundation, of course, and it's for dry, normal, combination, and oily skin types. Another thing about this foundation is that it's supposed to protect you from pollution and blue light, which is pretty interesting as well. You see that a lot more these days in foundations. It has a 24-month shelf life, so you can use this for 2 years and be good. And it has 1.5 fluid ounces, which is a little bit more than the usual 1 full fluid ounce. I really like the applicator, so I just took the cap off. I really like that it has a squeezy situation, because I honestly like to just pump the foundation directly on my face. It prevents me from walking around with a foundation swatch if I forget to wipe it off, which happens a lot. It doesn't really say that you need to shake it, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't really say that, but it can't hurt. The instructions for use actually say that you're supposed to apply it with the fingers, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use a foundation brush. Just did 2 pumps here, and it actually says 1 drop with the fingers, and applying it with the fingers gives you full coverage. Oh yeah, that already looks like full coverage. And I didn't prime or anything like that because I kind of like to just review the foundation. And I had a really red pimple right there, and it covered the redness up pretty good. Now I say that I used the Soft Matte Complete Concealer for underneath my eyebrows, but honestly I wasn't a huge fan of it on the face because I kind of like my concealers to be juicy almost, and it's more of a drier formula, so juicy is like not that great of a description. Yeah, it definitely is matte, and I'm so glad that I got Cadiz because this is the darker foundation. Tahoe definitely would have been too light for me right now. Just added a little bit more on my nose and forehead. I don't really have a lot of foundation in those spots. This is one of those foundations you need to make sure that you blend these edges, because look at this side, it's like a cut. I'm super curious on this foundation because it is already like matte. Okay, it still gives you like that little bit of a glow. Like I feel like my moisturizer is still kind of peeking through a little bit in certain areas, so it isn't like super flat, but it definitely is matte. And I don't know if I would want to wear this just like by itself without anything else, only because of how matte it looks. But that's honestly with all full coverage foundations. So I like to tell you guys what concealer and powder that I use. Today I'm using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish in the shade Tan Neutral. And then for powder, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Honey Setting Powder. All right, you guys, I am going to finish up my makeup. So far, so good though, but I will be right back as soon as I'm done. Okay, you guys, I just finished my makeup. It is so late. It is 3:12 p.m. So this is gonna be a long day for me to review this. I'm gonna try to do a full 8 hours. But yeah, so far the foundation honestly looks flawless. Like there's not a pore in sight. And I actually am starting to get pores next to my nose and all of that. More visible than they used to be. So yeah, I literally cannot see anything on my skin. It did a really good job at hiding the blemish as well that I have right now. The one thing about this foundation, I honestly, the more that I'm looking at it like in this light, okay, let me just say, I'm actually probably like 3 different colors depending on the light. In the mirror, actually maybe 4 different colors. In the mirror, it looks perfect. On camera, it looks slightly light for me. In front of a window, it looks almost like a little bit reddish. And in my bathroom lighting, it looks like pale. So I don't know what I really look like right now. From all of that though, I do think this was the best shade for me. If not, even maybe 1 shade darker and maybe something with more like golden undertones, because this one is described as peach undertones and they do have some shades that are golden. I'm looking at the website and Tahoe, the shade that I was talking about earlier, probably definitely would not work. I probably could have tried maybe Caracas. Definitely not saying that right, but it's medium dark to dark skin with peach undertone. Still has that peach undertone, but it's like a shade darker, so I'm wondering if that would work a little bit better. But honestly, this is perfect. Like, it's not that off at all. It's just I'm coming up many different shades depending on the lighting, so that would be the only reason why I would try to fix it, but it really doesn't need to be fixed. But yeah, so far so good, you guys. I am loving the way the foundation looks so smooth, and it's super full coverage. So I'm gonna leave this on as long as possible today so that we can test the matteness of this foundation, being that it's the soft matte complete foundation. So if you guys would like to see how this foundation wears and if it has flashback and all of that, then just keep on watching. Hi guys, it is 7:19 p.m. so I've had the foundation on for 4 hours and I am still pretty matte. You can kind of see a little bit of oiliness happening next to my nose. For it to have the name matte in the name, I was actually expecting it to not get oily until about 6 hours, and it kind of almost started getting a little bit oily like that an hour ago, which of course isn't terrible in a grand scheme of things, but just because it literally has matte in the name, I was expecting it to last a little bit longer, but it still looks super beautiful. That's the only area that I'm having issues. As far as the transferring of the foundation onto my mask, it did transfer less. It didn't totally not transfer. Did I say that right? You guys know what I mean. I could see my makeup in the mask. You can kind of see right here where the mask was, and then on my nose it's kind of come off, and a little bit over here you can kind of see like the 2 lines there. So I will check back in with you guys in a few more hours. Hey guys, it is 2:29 a.m. Yes, it is literally the next day. I still have this foundation on. I was at my parents' house and me and my mom were chatting for literally 5 hours. It's been 11 hours that I've had this foundation on. I did start getting oily though at about 12 a.m. My mom pointed it out. She knew I was doing this foundation review, but I am shiny next to my nose on both sides and on my nose as well as on my forehead. So I guess it took about 9 hours or so for me to get this shiny, because it didn't change from then until now. Other than that, I feel like this foundation wore really well if you're looking for something that is full coverage. I did the flashback test in both regular lighting and no lighting, like in a dark room. No flashback with this foundation, which is super awesome. Definitely a foundation you can trust on that aspect. And the oiliness, you could really just apply a primer on the front end. But as far as the finish and the look of the foundation, I really love the way that it looks. But definitely let me know what you guys think of this foundation down below if you've tried it. Make sure that you subscribe and thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and I promise I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.